Hey darlings, welcome back to my channel, I guess. This is a five-parter. I almost threw my notebook that I have here. This is a five-parter of Lolita 101, and in this video I'm going to show you how I do my makeup. So it's like a get ready with me video, but I'm also gonna do it so that I am talking about the like vocabulary of Lolita. And initially I thought that like it's like, yeah, vocabulary, like there is this like couple of words related to Lolita. It turned into like full on like page full of words. I don't have a mirror, so I'm gonna use the camera as my mirror to do my makeup. First of all, I have like dress vocabulary here, so it's like basic of the basic thing. So some of these terms are kind of like, I don't know, like very general kinda, so it doesn't like only limit itself into Lolita fashion, but I think like they were kind of like useful to know or like be aware of kinda things. So of course skirt, there is nothing like weird about skirt. But then of course there is JSK, which is a jumper skirt. It means a dress that has only straps. It doesn't have sleeves. It might have some like frilly like additional kind of strap or like lace or like frill attached to the strap, but it doesn't really have a proper sleeve. Then there is also OP, that is like the sleeved dress. So a dress that has sleeves, so it's like the opposite of JSK. Salopette is a kind of like a I think there is like a term for it, like a, it's not a romper, but kind of like a overall dress. The waistline is usually a bit lower, kind of like a skirt with suspenders. That's the kind of like visual that I have of salopette, a simplified version of JSK. Then there is a bustier, that is a like constructed dress. I think there are some skirts also that are called bustier, but like I usually like understand it more as a like a dress with corset boning. Then there is halter neck. Halter neck is just a like dress. It can be like pretty much any kind of dress, have some sort of like collar that kind of like binds behind your back or like on behind your neck. It might be like ties or buttons or something, but it's a halter neck. For the silhouette part, there is cupcake and A-line. So A-line is basically it looks like a letter A, so it's very like straight lined kinda. Doesn't really have much like gathering on the skirt part, whereas the cupcake shape is more of like a round bell shape skirt. So that is usually one that has like pleats, more pleats or gatherings than an A-line. An A-line might have some gatherings, but usually very little, so that it doesn't affect the silhouette too much. Full, half, and partial shearing, which is on the bodice area. So full shearing is like that you have like a kind of like gathered bodice on your skirt or like on your dress. Full means that it's like in the front and also in the back, so it's like fully sheared or like gathered with a rubber band. Half shearing is a bodice that is only like half sheared, so the back piece usually is the one that is fully sheared in half sheared bodice. So front, nothing, only like decor, just plain like fabric, no gatherings there, but the back piece is fully like gathered with a rubber band. Partial shearing is then of course so that like part of the back piece, or it can be front or side, is has some shearing to it, so that there is like some panel has some like elasticity in it. Then there is bustle. Bustle is a kind of like a frilly part in a skirt that has some like frilly layers so that it's like more fuller, appearing more fuller than like the rest of the skirt or the like skirt part of a dress. Tiering usually refers to like the layering kinda, so that there is like multiple layers on a skirt that are either sewn together or like sewn together with a like separate kind of piece, so that the layers are kind of like separate from each other. Normal waisted, high waisted, and low waisted. So normal waist is when the waistline lies on your normal waist. Usually the like waistline on Lolita dresses is a bit higher than your natural waist because Japanese people are so short. I'm also short and they still kind of lie above my waist, so maybe it's a like boob thing or something. High-waisted is basically an empire waist. It's your chest and then like it's a waist seam after that. Low-waisted or dropped waist is when the waist seam of the dress or skirt is under your natural waist. Then I have lacing. So lacing refers to the little like ribbon that is usually placed on the like sharing part of the skirt or dress. It can be like corset lacing, which is meant for like tightening or it can be what usually Lolita dresses, the lacing is just a decoration, so you are not supposed to like tighten it really tight. Waist ties are the sometimes solid, sometimes detachable pieces on the waistline that you tie behind your back. Then we're moving on to blouses. So for blouses there are cutsews. Cutsews are basically Lolita blouses that are like where the bodice is stretchy, like tricot or like knitted material, so that it's more comfortable, I would say. Then let's talk about different kinds of colors. So there is Peter Pan. Peter Pan is like the shape of the collar is more round on the front. It's not kind of like when you're imagining like men kind of like button-up shirt, like the collar is usually just like really like a sharp angle kinda. So in Peter Pan it's like round. Then there is Sailor color. It's like rectangular on the back side and usually kind of like V-shaped in the front. Then turtleneck is just like a higher like stand-up kind of collar. Flat is just something that from the body starting right straight to like to the collar, so that it lays flat on your shoulders. Then there is of course like the opposite, so button up or standing collar, where you have the little like additional piece to kind of lift up the collar a bit when and after that kind of like the actual collar starts and it kind of like comes down to your shoulder. For sleeves, there is princess sleeve or hime sleeve. They mean the same thing. Hime is just a Japanese word for princess. Hime sleeve does usually have kind of like it's like a frilly sleeve, really like extra detail, extra fabric kind of sleeve, usually starting from the like elbow area or like the here with the like frill, so that it kind of like it can come down like a lot sometimes. Full sleeve, half sleeve, and 2/3 of a sleeve. There are a lot of different kinds of sleeves in Lolita and like in general, but like I would just like put these out there. So full length sleeve, kind of like half length sleeve, and 2/3 of a sleeve is kind of like coming past the elbow area to like kind of onto the thickest part of your arm. Bow tie and jabot. A bow tie is usually a ribbon or a sash or like some sort of scarf that is meant for a blouse that is like supposed to be tied onto your neck in a big bow. Sometimes small bow, I think, depending on the like volume of the material used for the bow tie. And then there is a jabot. Jabot is usually like a separate piece that is kind of like the roughly kind of like tie that you put onto your collar. Very like Victorian thing or like Rococo thing. So headwear, there is full bonnets or bonnets and half bonnets. Full bonnet or just a bonnet usually refers to a bonnet that is like closed on the back. There is the brim, and then there is the kind of like piece that covers your like back of your head, basically. That's a full bonnet. Then half bonnet is the brim only, and then just this tiny little strip, kind of like a rectangle headdress-esque kind of piece that you tie either underneath your chin or like behind your neck. So that is a half bonnet, so it doesn't cover the behind of your head, so you can still enjoy like extravagant hairdos or whatever. So that's kind of the point of a half bonnet. A headdress, being a rectangle headdress or a normal like other headdress. So anything that you put on your head is a headdress, I guess. Anything that isn't a hat or a head bow is a headdress, I would say. And then there is Casey, Katyusha, or head bow. Those are like all the same things. I think the Casey Katyusha comes from like Russian, I think. But yeah, like it just refers to the like head bow that comes. Okay, this is gonna be difficult. So yes, that's that. Then there is barrette, clip, and combs. Barrette is a hair clip kinda that has the kind of like two little buttons on the like side, and then kind of the clip just like pops open. That kind of hair clip. Some brands have been using that kind of things quite a lot. Some brands usually prefer like crocodile clips or combs onto like on the smaller, oh, this is difficult. On the smaller hair clips kinda. Then there is a canotier, which is a usually, oh my gosh. This isn't working. Be right back. I fixed them in front of a mirror because I just don't know how to function with the camera. But yes, so canotiers are like wider brimmed hats, kinda. Usually the crown is kind of flat, so it's kind of just like looking like kind of like a big plate on your head. Bonnet cap. Bonnet cap is usually the kind of like when you think about Victorian like lady going to bed with the little like candle, she usually wears the kind of like frilled little nightcap. So that is a bonnet cap. For socks, I have made a video about socks. You can check that out if you're interested. But OTK over the knee sock, UTK under the knee sock, and thigh high, a sock that comes as high as your thigh. Accessories, wrist cuffs is a very like popular like accessory in Lolita. So it's just like roughly kind of like cuff with lace detail, kind of worn like a bracelet. And this is actually for blouses, but detachable sleeves are a thing, or like detachable something. Lolita fashion very often like includes detachable things, be it detachable bows or ribbon straps or like even sleeves sometimes. For accessories, there are some like bags that are called pochettes. Pochette, I think, pochette. So it's usually just a crossbody kind of like little bag. It might be in shape of an animal like kumakumuya or usakumuya. If you don't know what that is, please keep on watching. I'm gonna talk about them in a second. Then there is rucksack, which is kind of like a backpack. But then there is rucksack mini, that is a smaller version of the backpack kumakumuya or usakumuya, and there is a mini version that is kind of like a backpack for the mini version or the like rucksack version of the Usakumiya rucksack. Then let's talk about colors. Colors are sometimes taught with different terminology, especially in Sweden. When it comes to pastel colors, purple is called lavender and blue is called sax. Green is usually called mint, and off-white is either ivory or cream or off-white. In Gothic or Classic, usually the shades are just like green, yellow, purple, or sometimes they might add like dusty pink, dusty green, sage, whatever, that kind of things. But in like Sweet Lolita, lavender, sax, and mint are like staple kind of colors that you know, like what do they mean. For shoes, tea parties are, I'm getting really warm. So for shoes, tea parties are shoes that are like, they might have a little bit of heel or like no heel, but usually they're very like extra decorated, kind of that they have like bows or like scallop edge or like some sort of like cute detail. Those are tea parties. Other shoes might be platforms, Mary Jane's, pumps, sandals, boots. For outer layers, I have overskirt or overdress, so it's just usually like see-through material, so extra layer that you put kind of on your dress or on your skirt. It can be like shorter or longer than your like actual dress that you're wearing or skirt, just to give kind of like extra detail or extra layer to the coordinate that you're wearing. Then there's of course cardigan. Cardigan can be simple or like very extra. Bolero is just a, like a shorter cardigan kinda. It can have like shorter sleeves or something, but yeah, like shorter. Usually like it can be like either waist high or even higher, like underneath your like chest. Apron is apron. It can be something that has like a bodice cover, or it can be just like on your skirt part. Peignoir is kinda goes in the same category as overdress, but yeah, like peignoirs are usually kind of like vintagey pieces, kind of like nightgowns or something that you can like put on your like dress. Cape or capelet. Cape is more longer, I would say, and capelet is just like when it's kind of a little breezy outside and you need something to kind of like cover your cardigan or something, you usually wear capelet. So it's kind of like shorter, not as covering, not as warm as cape would be. Brands, I don't know why I didn't talk about brands like before. Well, anyway, brands is AP, meaning Angelic Pretty, which is one of the oldest Lolita brands that there are. BTSSB or Baby the Star Shine Bright is another like big kind of Lolita brand, and they're kind of like, I think they're like the same corporation, or like at least like sister corporations or something. Is Alice and the Pirates kinda, yeah, not kinda, but yes, that is how it is. And then there is also Meta, which is Metamorphose. the Lolita brand names are usually quite long, so they come out with these like shortenings for them, which is like funny to me. All like very many Lolita brands are like AP, or A starts with an A, or like, you know, like Angelic Pretty is AP and Atelier Piero is AP and Alice and the Pirates is AATP. So it's like very confusing. Okay, let's move on. So Miscellanious category, I didn't know where to really like categorize all of these. So there is twinning, triplets or tripleting, and quadruplets or quadrupleting, which means when a group of Lolitas wear the same dress in different colors or different cuts. That's called twinning. Sometimes even the dress might not be the same, but like very similar aesthetic kind of coordinates worn at the same time in the same place or in the same space, kind of. It can be distance twinning too if it's intentional, but anyway, that's called twinning, tripleting, quadrupleting, whatever. OTT, over the top, is like when a certain substyle is kind of like stretched into the most extra way possible. Usually OTT suite, for example, is like that you have like your head full of little bows and like it's like really like extra detailed. Then it's OTT. Casual Lolita is like the opposite of OTT, so it's very like kind of like low effort, comfortable, like maybe quickly put together. That's not necessarily how it is, but like really simple coordinate kinda. And then there is also a lifestyle Lolita, which is not necessarily like casual. It can be casual or it can be OTT, but the point is that the person who is lifestyler wears Lolita like every day, so it's like they don't have like normal clothing at all. A lipstick would be nice, but I don't know where my lipsticks are. What is this? This is... no, I don't want that. Oh, maybe this. Too red? I don't know. The most funny part that I found, at least to me, like the most funny part in this video is the brand Mascots. As I promised when I was talking about the pochettes and rucksacks and rucksack minis and rucksack mini-minis, are Usakumuya and Kumakumuya. So Usakumuya is actually Kumakumuya or Kumuya underneath the rabbit ears. So yeah, they're basically like all bears, but the Usakumuya is pretending to be a rabbit or a bunny, and Kumakumuya then is a bear that is pretending to be a bear. Makes sense, right? That's not all. Like, as I mentioned, AATP, Alice and the Pirates, they also have a similar mascot, but I don't think they like... yeah, anyway, this character is called Captain Chris. It's quite new. Like, I don't think they have had Captain Chris on for very long. I think the first time I saw the pochettes and the rucksacks were like within like a couple of years from now. Yeah, I think so, but I'm not sure, like I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, Captain Chris is also like a similar to Komukumuya or Usakumuya, but I don't think the hood works the same way. I'm not sure though. If someone owns a Captain Chris, you can like tell in the comments how it works. Let's talk about Angelic Pretty mascots, because there are quite a few actually. So yes, there is Lyrical Bunny. Lyrical Bunny is this yellow little bunny that is like... actually she's not like... he... they are not always yellow, but usually they are yellow. But anyway, like this bunny mascot is Lyrical Bunny. Angelic Pretty has... they have a pony mascot, and they have a swan mascot, and they also have fawn mascot and cat mascot and a bear mascot. How do you think like that these 5 mascots are called? They're milky. All of them are milky, or okay, the cat is called Milk Cat, but the rest are milky. Milky. So the pony is called Milky Chan or Milky Pony, and the swan is Milky Swan, and the fawn is Milky Chan the fawn. And then the bear is Milky Bear, and the cat Milk Cat. Yeah, like very, very extra inventive, angelic, pretty. Yeah. Anyway, that's all of the vocabulary. It was quite a long list. I hope I can like edit this down a bit. Yes, I hope you enjoyed this like milky thing. Milky, get ready with me. No, I'm not drinking milk, I'm drinking like soda. But yes, let me know, what do you think? If I forgot some term, please let me know. This is like not a comprehensive list. I just like came up with the list, and like it's very possible that I forgot something. Hi, editor Hannah here. Of course, I wanted to add like 2 more terms because I forgot, or actually 3 maybe. So undergarments. So there is bloomers. I'm not sure if I said bloomers. And also like underskirt. Underskirts are like skirts that you wear under your dress, so that like you can make your dress appear longer if you're taller, or if you want to like add a like decorative kind of like trimming onto a dress that doesn't have one. And yeah, and also like obviously the things that like make the dress poofier are petticoats that are like either made of tulle or voile or like organza or something like really poofy material. Pannier is like kind of like the bird cage looking kind of like thing that like wobbles around more than a like petticoat. But yeah, like you can get started with these words at least. But yes, anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope we will see you next time. Bye!